Hi, sixth graders. I'm excited to glaze our masks today, and I want to give you some instructions via video so that we could have the full class to work. All right, let's get going. First thing is, the glazes are not different than paint. They're a mixture of chemicals, so the first thing you need to do is shake the container of glaze really well. So make sure the cap is on tight. Give it a really good shake. And now you're ready to go. Also, you need to remember that what you see in the container is not what you'll end up with later. So, for example, the Sharpie's kind of rubbed away, but this is sapphire blue. And if we look at what the glaze actually looks like kind of a beige color or tan. But once this goes through the kiln, and there's that chemical reaction with the heat of the kiln, this will turn out to be a blue color. So just remember to always look at the caps, and you can also look on the container to see the color. And that's going to be really important as you choose colors today. Next, and I have a mask here for a couple directions, but I'm going to be glazing on this other example. So I know this isn't a mask, but this is my own, and I don't want to glaze on someone's actual artwork here. Next, you don't want to add extra water to the glaze, so first make sure your brush is dry. And then you're going to add 3 layers of glaze. So any area that you glaze, you need 3 layers. So I'm going to start by glazing this ground area, and you need 3 layers that dry in between. And the glaze dries really fast. When it's dry, it looks really chalky and dull, and then when it's wet, it still looks shiny. So you'll see very quickly how this changes from this shiny look to a dull, chalky look. Like you can all see how this dry glaze over here looks dull and chalky. And because it's 3-dimensional, make sure that you're glazing on the sides of the different components, and not just the surface area. Okay, so I've glazed this lower area. You can see how over here it's already drying, so I can start my second layer now. Layer number 2. If you don't add 3 layers, then the color just looks really, really light, and sometimes the clay even shows through at the end. So it's really important to get all 3 layers. And then I would let this dry and add my 3rd layer. When you change colors, it's extremely important to wash your brush very well, because if the chemicals from one color get mixed in with the chemicals of another glazed color, it's not like paint where you can just kind of mix it in and then it will be absorbed. The chemicals can actually completely change what the glaze looks like. So anytime you're changing colors, give it an extra good wash. And the glaze is pretty thick, so also pay attention. A lot of times the glaze is around here, and you want to make sure all of that is washed off, because if any of that gets in a new color, it's a problem. So give your brush a really good wash. Then, as I mentioned before, always dry your brush. Make sure it's totally clean. Anytime you see your water in your water bucket is getting murky looking, go ahead and give that a quick change, and you can keep going. So again, 3 layers everywhere. The only places that you cannot glaze is you should not glaze more than just around the edge. So you don't want anything on this lower edge, and you absolutely cannot have anything on the back. Sometimes when they're on the lower edge, if they drip at all, they end up causing the mask to stick to the kiln shelf. And the only way to get the masks off are to actually hammer them away. So very, very important. Only glaze over the top edge. Don't get anywhere near this bottom edge. Don't glaze the back. Okay? So important rules. Make sure the lid is on tight. Shake the glaze really well. Read the colors. 3 layers of glaze and nothing on the back. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys glaze today. Thank you, and see you soon.